Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to use Flipgrid, which is basically a video-based discussion board. This is a really great tool to use both whether you're teaching in the classroom or online. It's great online for obvious reasons. It gives kids a chance to connect kind of one-on-one, kind of bring back the familiarity of a classroom. And it's great to use even if you're teaching in person because it gives students who maybe aren't super comfortable talking in class the chance to still share, their ideas or their work without, the fear, because they can, redo their videos many times as they need. I'm really shy in the classroom when it comes to discussions, and I really liked using Flipgrid. So I think it's a great tool. So let's get started. So I made my Flipgrid account, which is free. You just enter your email and your school and whatever grade you're teaching, and there you go. So here's the home page. This is where my grids will show up. I haven't started one yet, but before I add a grid, I want to change the settings. So I'm going to go to Profile, Default Topic. This is where I can change the recording time. So I only want my students to do, I want the max to be 1 minute and 30 seconds for the topic. Great. So that means that their videos can only be that long. Once they hit that time, it gives you a countdown. It shows you how long you've got going. It warns you when you're running out of time. And the cool thing about this, let's say this time I want it to be 90 seconds, but the next one I'm like, you know what, they need 5 minutes. I can come back, change the settings. My old topic won't be affected, so that if somebody needs to, do that later, at a later date, it's not like they're going to suddenly have 5 minutes. They still have 1 minute 30 seconds to do it, but then on my next one, they'll have 5 minutes to do it. So that's a really good tool. You can also have it so that you have to moderate the videos before they're posted. So a student will submit their video. You have to make sure it is appropriate, and then you can make it active so that it is shared with the whole grid. This is good if you are afraid your students will abuse their power. So you can also pick what features they can use. So if they need to add a title, if they get to see how many people have seen it. They also have the opportunity to attach a link to their video, which is super cool because let's say they have to share a project and you want them to give a little debrief on what it's about. They can record their video talking about their project and then attach a link to it at the end so that once their classmates watch the video, they can go check out their project. So I think that's a really good idea. If you don't want to do it, totally up to you. Then student to student replies, that's where the discussion board element kind of comes in. Replies are in video form too, so it's like a delayed conversation, I guess, but it's really, really cool. Okay, so I have, my thing set up how I want. I didn't really change anything. So I'm going to make my first grid. Okay, so the grid itself is your classroom, okay? So let's say I only want my first period on a grid. So add new grid. I'm going to pretend I'm teaching health class, period 1. Okay? You pick how they choose or how they log in. So you can have them do school email or their ID. I'm going to do email because I think that's easiest. And then here's your flip code. That's what you'll share with your students so they can access your classroom. So I'm going to do McCormack, period 1, hopefully. All right, it's available. Perfect. So that's what I'll share with my students so that once they create their account, they can just enter this code and it'll take them right to their grid, okay? So I don't have my own classroom and I don't work at a school. So I'm just going to do at CSCB. It doesn't matter because I'm not actually adding people. So now I have my grid. So I can get grid notifications, so like when people join it or post new videos, whatever. I can export data. I can delete the grid if I need to. and I can edit it. So you can change the name if you need to, or the flip code if you need to. You can add or change the email addresses. So right now it's active, but let's say I wanted to make my Flipgrids, way in advance, but I don't want them posted. I can make it hidden. You can choose when you get notifications. This allows students to download and share after creating their video. Highly recommend, just in case something weird happens and it gets deleted or something. That way they can prove they actually did it. This allows students to get notifications when new topics are created. Highly recommend that too, just in case. And you can also change the background. They have little pictures available, or you can upload one. I'm gonna do the turtle. You don't have to do anything, but I like turtles. Okay, so I'm happy with my grid, so I'm gonna update it. Now it's really ready for things to go. Okay, and they automatically make your first Flipgrid. Okay, so it's active, it's on there. I can freeze it so that nobody can add anymore, or I can hide it so that so if it's frozen, you can't add any more videos, but people can still watch them. If it's hidden, you can't add them and you can't see them. So you can add a response. So like as a teacher, I can still add a response. So like this is say hello on Flipgrid, so I can say hello to my students. This is just your introductory first post. Can hide the topic, move the topic, export data, and we're gonna edit. So this is the topic, say hello on Flipgrid. I think this is a good way to start off students. That way they get a hang of it. If they mess it up, it's not like, oh my gosh, I messed up my first assignment. So here's the prompt. This is where you'll put the topic of your choice. Okay, so say hello, share a fun fact about yourself. You can change the options here too. So it's really simple. You can choose when it freezes. So let's say I only want them to do this for a week. After July 22nd, they won't be able to add any more videos to it. They'll still be able to see it, but they won't be able to add any more. All right, so I'm going to update my topic. Here's the flip code, so you can share that with your students if you want, or you can just send them to the Flipgrid and they'll find this. All right, so here's the topic. And I'm going to go back to my grid, and now I'm going to create my own topic. Add new topic. So I want my students to tell me about, no, I don't know, the process of fertilization. No, that's a weird one to do for this, actually. Nutrition, okay? So I am going to ask them 3 questions. How well do you follow nutritional guidelines? How can you improve your dietary habits? And what is your biggest challenge when it comes to eating, or when it comes to your diet? Alright, so they have to answer these 2 questions, or if I wanted them to answer one, I'll say pick one of the following. Answer it because that's a lot of questions. Following to the answer. There we go. Okay. So this is what they'll see as the prompt, so they can pick whichever one they want. They'll have a minute 30 seconds to, give their answer. I have it so that I'll have to moderate it, again, just to be safe. I don't have anything I want to add, but you can record a video, upload a video, so that it could, get your students working or thinking about, like, what they need to do. So let's say we hadn't really talked about nutrition guidelines yet, and I found a really cool video explaining it. I would add the video so they could watch it, and then they can be like, okay, now I get it, and then do the response. So what options? Oh, topic 2. Okay, so this is where you can give your students more clarity on how to answer the question. So, I am talking about nutrition, and I want to make sure they know I'm talking about the food pyramid. So I'm going to put it back to the food pyramid. The students know, okay, I need to, review that or research that to know how to best answer the question. All right. And then I'm just going to leave this open. All right, create topic. And there it is. So I can copy the link, or I have a QR code which I can download or copy. I can get an embedded code. I can share it directly to Google Classroom, whatever. So here it is. And then as students, so there's a little tip. Add topic. So students can add their videos. I can also record a response. I'm not going to. You can search responses. You can export the data if you want to, and then you'll get notifications as people respond to it. So that's the gist of Flipgrid. It's really simple to use for the teacher and the student. I think it's a good idea for the teacher to add a response, at least for the first few, just so students can maybe understand what you're looking for exactly, especially with online learning, because they might not know what your expectations are yet. So, adding your own answer gives them the idea of, like, okay, she wants it, in this format. She wants a full paragraph, or she just wants a highlight. She wants like a whatever, So let's just go into some of the other little cool things about Flipgrid. So we're going to go to mixtapes. This is where you can put together responses from any topic into one little mixtape. So let's say, you did you're doing your unit on health and nutrition. You want to mix somebody's reply to the nutrition post and somebody's reply on exercise, whatever. So you create a mixtape, and then your students can watch it and get, like, the highlights of the topic, So, like, they can use it as a study guide, or if they're still confused as to what they need to be doing on Flipgrid, like as to how they need to be formatting their answers, this is a good way to show them, like, hey, these students did a really good job phrasing their answers. Use this as a reference. So I don't have any replies, so I can't really make a mixtape, but there it is. And then there's Grid Pals, which allows you to connect with other educators, which is really, really cool. All right, so as you can see, there's a lot of people. So you can filter it by grade, subject, whatever. I'm going to filter it by health and physical education. All right, now I'm going to make mine active. So you can add your little bio. You have to put what grades and subjects you teach and your education. So for California. And then you have it so that you can be contacted by Grid Pals via email. Your email isn't shared with them until you reply, so it goes through Flipgrid at first to initially contact you. If you want to talk to them, you reply to them, and they'll get your email so you can connect. You also have to put at least one social media account as a way to connect. I only have a Twitter associated with all my teaching stuff, so I put that. And then I'll join Grid Pals. All right, and now I'm active, which means I can connect with other students or teachers. My bad. So I'll just click on somebody. So I can send them an invite, which will send them an invitation to collaborate with me. Or I can, look them up on Twitter, see what they're doing. This is a really cool way to interact with teachers from anywhere in the world, honestly, and to allow your students to interact with students from other places. So you can collaborate on Flipgrids together. Create one Flipgrid and share it with whoever. Share it with that teacher's classroom. Um, so they can interact with each other, and kind of see the difference of classes, you know, between states or countries, whatever. Um, so you can contact as many people as you want. They can contact you. Like I said, this is a really great way to collaborate both for teachers and for students. Um, so yeah, that's the basic gist of Flipgrid. It's really easy. It's fun to use. Students will love it, I think, no matter how shy they are in the classroom, because it really is a good way to encourage public speaking without the pressure of having to do it perfect the first time in front of a bunch of people. They can re-record their video as many times as they want. They can delete their video if it's not up to their standards, whatever. So yeah, I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoy Flipgrid. Thanks, bye!